I'm here to extol the virtues and the joys of Media Day with Nick Nurse. Does this feel good? Is this the start, or is this just a pain in the Allah Abdul Nabis?
Oh, no, this is the start, and it feels good, man. I'm excited. I think the team has an identity that we didn't have a year ago, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing them back out there. We're only a few days away from actually playing against another NBA team, even though it's preseason. Right. But no, I think there's been some good urgency, some great work done this summer, and I'm waiting to see some of the results. Yeah.
You know, I got some old school in me, so I got the clipboard and I got the questions written down. And the second question was, "What the hell are you?" And I look, because in the first thing he said, there's something different about this team, and I'm thinking in my head, okay, so Tampa is what it was, and then 48 wins last year. Not a heck of a lot of changes yet. But do you know what you guys are this year, and what is it that you're referring to that's different about this group?
Well, I think that last year we had no idea, and nobody knew if we were going to be any good at all, and picked us, 12th in the East and 30-some wins or whatever. So once we found our defensive identity and footing and ability to execute the schemes the way we're used to around here, I was like, okay, now we have something here, and now we know who we are. So now we're adding some depth to that. We're adding some experience. I really believe that it was a case of guys leaving really hungry, like they didn't want last season to end, and it did, unfortunately, and there was some urgency to get better quickly. It was a long summer. And to me, to me it looked like a really good long off season. Again, like energy and enthusiasm and urgency and just intensity with which everybody was doing things in the summer. Looked good to me.
So where's the biggest growth opportunity for this team?
Well, we've probably got to grow a little bit in our offensive efficiency, right? I think that we were number 2 in the league in offensive rebounding last year. We kind of had an idea that maybe we were going to be searching for some offense last year, so we thought there might be some offensive rebounds available to get. so we did a good job of getting our share of them. I think that we found that we got some length and some size and to be really good offensive rebounding team, but I think we need to clean up a little bit our efficiency there, create and make better shots. I think we'll take this team a step forward.
One of the buzzwords surrounding your team is half-court offense this year. Is that what you're talking about? Because I know that you guys, true shooting percentage, a little bit of efficiency in the half-court side. Is that what you're talking about?
For sure, yeah. I mean, I think that we didn't have a ton of shooting out there. We're playing a lot of long, athletic guys. We've got to be able to have more space. So we can drive it to the rim and get free throws and get that part of our shooting up a few notches. It's kind of like the NFL. You got to run it some to be able to pass it, right? So it's a little bit the same, yeah.
You got to soften them up a little bit.
That's right.
So individuals are going to take steps forward, and a lot of people are talking about what you were last year and how you got to 48 wins. A lot of it had to do with Scottie Barnes. What do you see as a ceiling? I mean, obviously you had an All-NBA guy in Pascal Siakam, but what do you see as a ceiling for Scottie Barnes?
Oh, man, I think the ceiling for him is up there. I think should be a multiple-time All-Star. I mean, he just turned 21. He's all of 6'10", right? And he's physical. He loves to compete. His skills are nowhere near where they're gonna be. So there's a ceiling that's gonna go up, but his skills are improving. Listen, can he go out and compete again like he did last year? Then he's gonna have a really good season because the skills and the shooting and stuff are just evolving, and every day that goes by.
I saw pictures. He looked a little more.
Looks awesome, doesn't he?
Is he bigger?
I mean, every time I see him though, like every time he walks in the gym, I'm like, man. And then I finally got, come on, I can't say this every time I see him come in the gym, but he looks, very good shape. Right. Yeah, he looks in very good shape.
The usage rate last year, 19%. I think the number is there are only 4 players with less a usage rate that scored more points per game than Scottie Barnes did. Do you see that going up?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think that, again, his ability to grab it and do something with it on his own or create on his own, that's all I'm ever really concerned with is can they start figuring out how to create a shot for themselves or create multiple defenders guarding them, and then they pass it. right? Like, and he's still in that creation stage yet, and then he'll get to the next part where he's going to have to start he almost wants to pass it so much. He's so unselfish that he's not creating enough of an opportunity for himself or others. So, you know, like you've heard me say all the time last year, more aggressive, more shots, more to the rim, more this and that, and then he'll open up some of the passing and stuff he wants to do.
Listen, we talked in the offseason about the minutes that Fred and Pascal played. They were 1-2 in the NBA in minutes played. Do you see him being able to alleviate some of that? Like maybe even play some point guard? And
Yes, I mean, I think the one thing we learned from the Sixers series was obviously Fred was out the back half of it. So we didn't have much choice other than to play Pascal and Scottie over there, and we liked what we saw. I think it gave us a unique opportunity to see it in really game stressed situations, what's playoffs, on the road, all that stuff, and it looks good, looks manageable and doable.
Last year we did this interview and we talked about Pascal Siakam in his offseason and some of the things that he said, and he ended up being all-NBA, pretty damn good season. This offseason, I heard things about OG Anunoby in his role. Did you hear the same things?
What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That maybe he wanted more opportunity or something along those lines. Do you
So
feel,
it's just another season, right? Or just another day at the office for us.
right? Do you think that?
Yeah, do I think OG can have a?
No, but like,
no,
do you worry about that stuff more than like? When you
I don't
hear
think
that,
so. I don't think I worry about near as much as most people do. I mean, I just think that it's what it is, right? Each year, there's guys that are trying to take a step forward. There's only so many minutes. There's only so many shots. There's all those kind of things, and that's constantly what my job is, right? And unbeknownst to, you know, let's say the naysayers or people who just live in negativity world, right? Like, I want the best for those guys. I want the best for Pascal. I want the best for OG, and it's up to my staff and myself and the team to figure it all out so that the best does happen for them, like we did with Pascal last year.
So let's go back to the football analogy, because I know that there's football coaches that every once in a while in a training camp don't mind a little scrap, right? Like they don't mind guys getting into each other. It shows that they want it. Does some of like hearing what Pascal said a year ago and hearing OG talk about opportunity or rumors out there about his opportunity, does part of you as a coach kind of like, yeah, I want my guys to want more?
Well, of course, right? I think that it even would probably go this far. Like, you know, we certainly have a goal of winning each time we step on the floor, right? But like goal 1A is that these guys' careers get better, and they improve, and they you know, continue to go, I don't know, from whatever, 12th man to 8th man to starter to all-star to whatever the climb is, and the longevity of their careers can become. So, yeah, I think there's some of that internal competitiveness is not only healthy, but it's necessary.
And you've got guys to point to, right? Like, you've got guys, Freddie Van Vliet, Pascal Siakam, like guys that have gone from playing in the G League to NBA All-Stars or All-NBA. So
yeah, Kyle Lowry to Chris Boucher to Norman Powell to there's a bunch of
So who's the next glow up? Like who do you see that could be the next flourishing?
Well, I think you got to look at who's like had some breakout games that could maybe do it a little more consistently or raise a level of above average play more consistently, right? So you got OG, right? Who's really like the start of last year, he was huge for us. While Pascal was out, obviously, and other times he's been huge. Needs to stay a little healthier. Precious, right? Starts to look, you know, after the All-Star break on, started to look like almost a different guy. Like, okay, I belong. Here's what I need to do. You know, like, and he's starting to come. So there's another candidate for you.
Do you like? Does that go? I don't know. You don't write a CV anymore. You don't write the resume anymore. But how high would that be? Like all those guys that you named, how high would that be on what you've accomplished in Toronto?
Well, it's for us. It's really what it's all about, right? I think that we've always. I mean, one of the good things about kind of like my training ground of coaching is I was always in those scenarios. I was in the minors trying to get guys called up. I was in England trying to get guys sent to Spain. I was, you know, so it's kind of like, thankfully for all those jobs, that's kind of just the mindset that me and a lot of my coaching staff have been through, is to try and help people in general improve their lot in life. Try to get them to become more than even they maybe think they can become, right?
And at this level, you end up with championships if you can do that the right
Yeah,
way.
hopefully.
Thank you very much for doing this, and thanks for our annual chat. I do appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.